Hey, hi. Mm-mm. I don't know where that came from. I did not have it locked and loaded in there. But apparently it was ready. Hello, hello, and welcome, welcome. Let's make this a little bit larger. Pick what I'm asking you to pick. Okay. Not that large. All right. Excuse me, I don't want to make y'all struggle to see it. Ooh, we got some stuffs today. Hey. Stuffs today. Oh, let me go. Share it. Man, how have you all been? Hope everybody's been fantastic and great and phenomenal. If you found my $60,000, please return it promptly. It is somewhere out in the wild waiting for me to claim it. If you have run into it before I do, please tell it to come home because I need it. All right, and thank you. It's breakfast time. It's breakfast time. That was even more random. My goodness. I don't have no reasoning for that. Oh, so what are we doing today? Hold on, I need to put some I feel like my hands is rusty. Do I have some lotion in there? I do not. I thought I did. Nope. Nope. Hmm. Round. That shucks. I feel dry. I have been being on my domestic duties, washing dishes and loading clothes in the washing machine and stuff. Did a little bit of raking this morning. I need to go do some more. Um, but stuff's on top of stuff's to be done. So today, what are we talking about today? Today we are talking about adult vacation. So if you are new here, Welcome. I am Katasha Gordon. I am your certified sexuality educator, and you have just joined Pleasure Tools Tuesday. Pleasure Tools Tuesday is our class that is designated for couples and for people in long term relationships that are looking for additional ways to bring spice back into the bedroom. We are talking about external tools that you can bring with you to liven up that space. Okay. So we are going to be talking about adult vacations. Oh my gosh. And so there's a lot of different assets to adult vacations. I actually did some research. I got with one of my friends this morning, so I got some really good information for y'all if you are looking for different types of adult vacations. She kind of went over all of the aspects of, what you're looking for. We broke down some. So stay tuned, okay? Because I'm going to give y'all some, I'm going to drop some options in the chat a little bit later, okay? If you have any questions or I'm moving too fast and you don't understand something, please feel free to drop hop in the chat, tell me you can't hear me, you can't understand, whatever. A lot of times I don't know what's going on, okay? I'm just in here talking. I don't have a clue about like what needs to be done, what people are doing, none of that. I'm just here. That's all. So, feel free to interrupt, drop in. If you have questions about something else, you can also drop that in there. We'll be happy to address it, and then I will also be dropping some resources a little bit later. So, all right. All right. Let me see. Okay, let me make sure everything is up and ready because you know how I do. Make sure I got all my chats open. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. So, what are adults' vacations or adults only vacations? They are just what they sound like. They are vacation destinations that are built specifically with adults in mind. So, these actually come in a few different options, just depending on what you need. So, wherever you are on the love spectrum, there is a type of adult vacation for you. Now, most people are travel as a family. Well, not most people, but many couples. If you're a couple, most couples consist of you two and the the love that you have created together in multiple forms. Okay, so usually family vacations are, if you have to take vacations, it's usually a family vacation where everyone gets to go. And so in those family vacations, of course, those are curated to be able to offer an experience for children and experience for adults. Now, they do try to make something that, both of you can find in the same space, but not occupying the same space. But there are also restrictions on family properties, on family resorts, on what you can do and what you can do. Adults only vacations expound on that, on what you could do if the children were not there. Okay, so it just gives you the option of going to a place that is specifically curated for lifestyle couples or for a romantic getaway or for an eco luxury getaway. Whatever you're interested in, it's specifically tailored to that versus being tailored for families with a piece for adults, right? So there are different types of homes. I mean, different types of homes. There are different types. Excuse me. Am I glitching out? What's happening? I have no idea. What's going There are different types of adults only vacations. You can have a romantic resort, which are going to be rooms that are curated for the lovers. That's where you're going to see your um, swim up kind of pools and having a little jacuzzi in the room and having the room decorated in a very romantic and loving way that is good for cuddles, and it just gives you that ultra sexy feeling. Those are going to be your romantic resorts where they're going to, serve you breakfast and champagne, and you have robes and those kind of things. That is for couples who want to go away, relax, and just enjoy each other. They can go to a romantic resort and, really just unwind together. Hey, the only sponge, how's it going? It's a little early. So we talking about, you popped in on the perfect time. We're actually talking about adult vacations today. So I know you have a little bit of expertise in this. So you popped in on the perfect show. Um, if you want something that's more of a curated experience, you can go to a lifestyle resort. Okay. And so a lifestyle resort comes in a lot of different flavors. Your lifestyle resorts are going to be resorts that are created for a specific experience. Okay. So if you are into, say, you are into, BDSM, you can go to a resort where they would have dungeons, or you may see, they may have a flogging exhibition or things like that. Those type of resorts are curated experiences specifically for that. They also have that, I like to say, have it in gay, because they also have those for LGBTQ environments as well. They have lifestyle resorts that they can go to, and it's a completely safe and nurtured environment that is tailored to the type of experience that they're trying to offer. You also have like cruises. They have adult cruises you can go on. They have some liners that only do adult cruises, and they also have adult retreats. Now, your adult retreats can be even as spicy as the lifestyle resorts, because the retreats are usually curated by a group of people. So say you are an eco lover, right? And you want to have um, a retreat somewhere, and you invite other eco lovers, and so you have all of these people who are enjoying the enmeshment of nature and sex, and they're all in the same place, absorbing each other's energy and all those types of things. So there are many different options for you to go on to explore with your partner, if that is an option, if that is a curious yes for the both of you. Okay, getting to a curious yes can be difficult, because going into a new space is scary. And especially going into a new space where you're expected to be vulnerable and everyone else is being vulnerable, but that's not a comfortable space for you. So it can be scary, but it should also be exciting, and it should be more exciting than it is scary. But even if you do go to those places, the like me and my friend were talking about, the some of those places, a lot of the relationships in kink and BDSM are, I like to call them marriages. Okay, so it's like dominant and submissive. There is bondage and discipline. There is masochism and sadomasochism. You need each one of those sides to be able to participate wholly and faithfully in that activity. You need both people to know the space that they're in to carry that out. And it's the same thing with these kinds of resorts. Sometimes you don't need to be the person doing anything. There are people who will be comfortable enough to do that for you. For every relationship and every activity you see, there is a relationship. So you watching someone who is being an exhibitionist is you being a voyeur. Okay, and that is a very important part of that relationship. They cannot be exhibitionists if you are not a voyeur. And so these types of spaces have been created to help those relationships come together in a space that feels safe. Now, it is not okay for you to be in that type of relationship where one of the people is not aware that they are in this marriage, right? So it's fine for you to be watching someone who expects to be watched. It is not okay for you to be watching someone who has no idea that you're watching them, right? When we're talking about healthy dynamics, we're talking about two consenting people, and is everyone having fun? If the other person has no idea that you are engaging in a side of this relationship, then they cannot consent and they are not in a place to say that they are having fun. So it is important that if that is who you are and you do like to watch, there are people who want to be watched, and they will be in places that are curated for that type of activity. So these are the type of places that you can go to engage in voyeurism and exhibitionism, and the other party is considered a consenting adult for watching, right? For this specific exchange. So, if you open your mind up to the possibilities, you can find some really exhilarating experiences out there that are embedded in these adult vacations. Now, the word vacation should already you know, give you the chicken skin. It should already be a good sign for you that going on vacation, getting away, leaving the stresses of work behind and all those Excel spreadsheets and all the other stupid shit that they want you to do all day, and being able to walk away from that and go out into somewhere and be a completely different person should already make you like, okay, here we are. If you can couple that with bringing in a new experience and learning something new about yourself and your partner, you open that space up to so much more freedom. That's essentially what it is. It is a freedom, because there are things that you can do in these spaces that you cannot do in other spaces, right? Because everyone cannot be consenting adults in those spaces. But when you go to these types of spaces, you have that as an option. So what's going to be some of the benefits? What's some of the things that we can say that an adults only vacation can provide for a relationship? Well, first of all, like I said, it's a vacation. So you get the option of having uninterrupted time together. And even when you're on a family vacation, you are not there to be on vacation. You are there to protect them kids and stop them from jumping off of this and eating that, and when they get a bug, and nurturing sunburns, and that's all the things that you are there to do as a parent. And so if you go on this adult vacation with your partner, now you two have uninterrupted time to spend together that does not require you piecing yourself out to make sure that everybody survives, okay? And so that in itself can be a relaxing experience of being able to just to be still with your partner, to sit down. Oh, I just reminded me, I don't have my ring on. I'm ashy too, so there's that. But it gives you that time frame to really lock in with each other. And if you are missing that kind of spark or that meaningfulness in your relationship, or that intent, this can help bring that intent back into your relationship. It also gives you the opportunity to do some sensory indulgences. Now, depending on the type of place you go, you can really get in there when it comes to like sensory, and so you can change the environments. Usually when people think about intimate activities, they think about your bedroom, doors closed, lights off, whatever. What if you could do that in a place that was not like that? What if you were in someone else's foyer? Or what if you were outside under a tree? And so it gives you the opportunity to use the senses to explore different things that would make you happy. You also have food, which is going to be one of the great things. Food can literally make or break a vacation, right? Well, I don't know. I mean, you'll survive depending on who you are, you'll survive if the food is not great. But if the food is phenomenal and it's a relaxing vacation, still to this day, I talk about the seafood pasta served at the quarterdeck in Placentia because I have never had a seafood pasta that had more seafood than it had pasta. I ate all the noodles and it's still mussels and shrimp and stuff. So, but experiences like that make those places even more delightful to the senses. So, make sure you're taking the time and using your intent to build an experience that you can take home, an experience that you will talk about once you've left. Yeah. And so another one of the benefits is that you're literally going into a space that has been curated for what you're there for, whatever that is, right? If you go to a suspension bondage retreat, everything in that retreat is going to be centered around that experience. And so you will have multiple ways to engage. You will be able to talk about the different parts of it. You will be able to, speak with other people who also engage in that activity. So you're talking about a fully intimate, curated experience. With that, you also get the feeling of privacy. That is going to be one of the most important aspects of these trips. You are going to notice when you go to these places that the privacy is very, very important, because there are all different types of people from all different types of walks of life who are interested in a plethora of different things. And those people may not be safe sharing that outside of those walls. But once they get into this space, they can become the person that they want to be without the societal expectations attached. So privacy is very, very important. You often have NDAs, or it is a completely sectioned off compound where you cannot see in, no one can see out. Like, it is just completely segregated from the space, from regular spaces, to be able to contain the anonymity of the people involved. So you're really talking about like somebody opening up the doors for you to completely explore and then go home and act like nothing ever happened. You can go home and pretend that nothing ever happened. You were just hanging by your nipples from from a bamboo cane, and now you are back at work on Teams asking about where's your spreadsheet. So that's a great. I definitely wish that it was a possibility, or that in the future I believe it will be. But I hate that it's something that people have to do secretly to be able to maintain the other parts of their lives. I hate that that's a part of the process, but I'm also grateful that the space still exists if they can only get it for a little bit of time. So I would rather it exist for a short period of time than not exist at all. But hopefully, going forward in the future, people will be able to exist in their kinks and in their regular life. Um, that's what we're hoping for, right? Okay. Um, you also get to do like you get to take okay. I saw that there was a video the Oldies was hopefully one day. Listen, they're out there. So I'm gonna give a list of some of the most popular places. I talked to a travel agent. She's been. I think she wants. I want to say she said 15 years. I know she's been doing it for a really, really long time, because like right after we got out of college. So I asked her for some of her best spaces. So now internationally, she did give me some spaces in Mexico and down south, but she didn't give me too many places internationally. So I don't know how helpful that'll be for you. But if you know some places, we would love to hear them as well. Any kind of adult retreats, or okay, so this is completely off topic, but there is a place. I want to say it's in Russia, but don't quote me on that. But there is a place that has glory holes. I have got to go there. I need to go there. I need to go see. I need to go smell it. It probably smells terrible, but I don't care. I'll tell you about it anyway. But I do need to go there. So if you got places the only sponge, please feel free to drop them in the chat. um, but you also get to go on adventures like that. You get to go on, and you're doing that with your partner. So that also brings that playfulness and that curiosity and that joy back into your relationship. Like, yeah, we're going to go to this Renaissance sex retreat, or we're going to go to this, carnival type retreat, and it's clothing optional and blah 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 and all those types of things. Being able to go on that type of adventure with your partner also adds to the level of eroticism that you two are both putting into the pot. So these, you're both in control of this recipe, and during these types of activities you're both pouring into that pot, because you're able to go back, you're both able to go back and pull memories out of it to remind each other how much fun you had. You're both able to be like, oh, you remember what you wore, and you wore this, and being able to go back in and snatch those memories back out and share them with your partner is how you feed that, that monster that is sexuality. And it's not a bad monster. Um, but in the wrong, if you're using the energy incorrectly, it can be. But for the most part, we are all very unaware of what our sexuality looks like, and are unaware of how other people are experiencing sexuality. There are people going on these vacations. There are clubs. There are all kinds of things that you can do um, to feed the type of sexuality that you are interested in. So you also get the opportunity of doing, if you've ever been to like a club or anything, you know that it can be overwhelming. Like a sex club or a sex dungeon or things like that can be overwhelming. But being in a retreat or being in a, at a resort or whatever, gives you the opportunity to go back to your room, decompress for a little bit if you need to, if you need to take a break, if it's, was getting too fast for you or whatever. You have a place where you can go back and catch your breath and catch a breather. Usually, like in most places, the people get these experience from, like, nightclubs and sex clubs and things like that. And you're there until you're no longer there. You have to enjoy the experience while it's there, and that's it. And you get that night, and you better hope that it goes right. Well, on a resort or a vacation, you have a place where you can go back and decompress if it does get too much. And so, you just leave the space open for keeping that kind of energy alive between the two of you, and being open to trying new things and trying new types of resorts as well. Okay. So now let me give you some of the suggestions that I got. So I talked to my friend. Let me put her. I'm going to do it before and I'm going to do it after. I spoke with my friend and wanted to get a good adults only vacation spaces that she knew about, and that she could kind of give me some insight on. And she ate it up. Okay, so she said that romantic getaways is a good company to do. They have Secrets, which is a resort, and she described it as romantic. It is one of those type of places where you have private pools and swim out suites, and if you didn't want to, you wouldn't have to leave the room. It is a more sultry, romantic experience, and it is for the lovers, okay? And then that same company also has, let me put that in here, has a Breathless, which is another resort, adults only resort, but she said that this one is more like party. It's giving more party. So, let's see. Okay, and I wonder if we can look them up. You think we can look them up? Let's see. We're probably gonna get banned. She said, Secrets Resort and Spas. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, let's share the screen. All of y'all are in the way. I don't need that. And we'll put you over there, and then I don't need you. I can't get back to the thing. Leave me alone. Okay. All right, all right. And let's share our scene here. That was from the last time. Do 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 do. All right. There we go. Okay. Ooh, this is Hyatt. Secrets, resorts, and spas. She said it was quite a few secrets in the Riviera Maya. I do remember her saying, oh, she did say Tulum. There was one in Tulum too. So let's look at. What did you look at the first one? Um. Mm, All inclusive, adults only secret resorts and spas and indulge in an extra measure of romance in exquisite luxury beachfront settings. That feel like a lot. Let's go look at some pictures. Um, let's see Mexico. We both talked about it. We love us in Mexico. I do love Mexico. I've been in a bunch of different places. I didn't realize that it was not a norm. Like a lot, many people didn't travel. Oh, do I? Let me see. Where would that be coming from? Let me see. Let me see. Is it this? Yeah. Is that different or better or worse? Am I muted now? Who knows? The squirrels are outside. Oh, okay. So I don't. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just pushed a button. Anyway. I fixed it. That's all that matter. Oh, it's fixed. Oh, okay. Because I'm a tech wizard. You never know. But you can go to some of these places. Again, they have options to where you can get all inclusive. There were some places that she said in Tulum that don't have all inclusive options because that's still relatively new for that area, but that there were places that did have them. Okay. She said um, that the Mexico brands, she said El Dorado, Riviera Maya. So let's look that up. And the explanation that she gave for this one, she said that it was given lusty jungle love. That's what she said. It was lusty jungle love. So these again is another adults only resort. Um, then why does that? Oh, it says 0 children. It better still say all inclusive outlet. But I think this is just like one of those all places. See, that's what I'm talking about when I say they do like the swim up junior suite. Oh, how cute. Um, but this is also good. Let me say this too, that going on vacation is also good for people who are in poly relationships. If you have more than one partner, taking everybody on a vacation and letting everybody decompress also is a great way to get everybody reset and and make sure that they're don't just think it's for couples. So these places are for people who are in relationships. The nature of that relationship is up to you and the people that you bring with you. That's not what we care about, but they're gonna be thinking that y'all sleeping in the same bed is what I'm saying. So that's so funny. It made me think about I was watching an episode of Quantum Leap, and I know this is probably old, y'all probably don't know what this is, but there was an episode of Quantum Leap, and the premise of Quantum Leap is the dude jumps into other people's bodies, and he had just jumped into the body of a man who had just got married, and he was on a train in a marriage suite, and the dude wasn't trying to sleep with that man's wife because that's not really his wife, but the dude that was getting the train together was like, so do you want me to make the bed or not? And the dude was like, make two beds, and he was like, white people. So yeah, they gonna assume y'all sleeping in the bed together. So just be on the lookout for that. But it is a great place to. It is a great idea to use vacation to explore new things and to relax. Decompress, if you will. It's been a couple days since I washed dishes, so I'm using my cup my sister bought for me. I don't have any more jars. Okay, so now let's talk about places that are clothing optional. Okay, because not all resorts are fully nude, but some are, and some are you can wear clothing if you want to. It's completely up to you. Um, Hidden Beach in Mexico is a clothing optional resort. Um, there is a place called All Natural that's clothing optional. This one is more of a secretive compound with very large gates. Like it's like 10, she said it was 10-foot high gates, and they're like logs, so you can't, there's no peeking in, there's no seeing, like it's completely shut off from the world. And people are walking around in the nude in at that resort. I know, I thought that was cool too. um Tulum has boutique resorts. So boutique resorts are so if I have to stay in a hotel, I love me a little boutique hotel. Give me a hotel where they are going to have a little picture of Erica Badu or something up on the wall, and I love a boutique hotel. They also have boutique resorts in Tulum. Quite a few boutique resorts that have these sexy, very sexy rooms where the pools are inside the room, like it's like swim up pools and all that. Um, she said it was not a place that she would stay uh, if she were single. These are not places that she would stay if she was single. Um, these are specifically for like romantic, you know, type of getaways. Now, we get into the adults only for like the lifestyle resorts. She said Desire was a life. It has a lifestyle culture, so it's a lifestyle type of resort, but it has playrooms and it is like a premium experience. Not everyone is allowed to go into the rooms. It's very selective. It's by choice, and just a very curated premium experience for lifestyle play. She said there was also in this same family was Temptation, and Temptation is a lifestyle resort, but it is more open sexually. So she said you're more likely to see stuff going on. She said if you go to Temptation and you looking for anything, you're going to find it there. Whatever it is, she said you'll find it. So she said it is not a hotel that is meant for relaxing. It's a party hotel. It's a lifestyle hotel. Everybody's there to kick it. Everybody's on their YOLO. Yeah. Everybody's on their YOLO shit. Like nobody's here for a long time. We only here for a good time. So it is she said it was less inhibitions, and that you were more likely to see sex and sexual activity out in the open in Temptation versus being in desire. Okay. So, and then we went to Jamaica. She said there was hedonism, which many people have heard of hedo. It's a very party vibe, kind of like Temptation, lifestyle culture, clothing optional. Hedo also has like specific cultural events. I think that's important because I know Hedo was one of the first places that I realized that had like black kink events, or specifically black kink events, because it is really difficult for black people to find safe play parties because it is so difficult in, well, I would say here in America, because of the race relations and how things go. And it's not because people are in there being violent towards black people, but it's just that you can go into those spaces and you turn into what they want you to be and not necessarily who you are there to be. And if you are a black person in a white BDSM space or or a kink space, there is quite a bit of fetishization going on. So, even we had a panel with some black BDSM practitioners, and they were talking about going into dungeons and how, one of the ladies was saying that she was a submissive, and that being in there, you know, nobody took her seriously as a submissive because everyone wanted to be dominated by the big black lady. And because she was the big black lady, she didn't get to live out her experience or be what she wanted to be in that space, because the expectation was, ooh, I can get beat by a black lady, or ooh, like, she's probably mean and gonna, humiliate me, and I'm gonna love it. And that was not the space that she wanted to take up. But sometimes when those spaces is just not as comfortable, there are a lot of microaggressions. There are, it's really difficult for a black person to find their place in those spaces. But Hedo definitely has curated black spaces, curated LBGTQ spaces. If that's where you're into, if you're into like party, like carnival um, type stuff, if you're into that, it's there. Like, they just have a lot of different events, and whatever your niche market of whatever you want to be into, you can find it in these little curated spaces. And I know I've been wanting to go to Hedo for years, but now I'm like old as hell. So, but I'm probably still gonna go. But you know, and I'm not fun no more. I used to be fun, but now I'm an auntie. So, my knees is bad. I can't be walking on this sand like this. But I am still gonna go though. I do want to go. I do look forward to that. And then right next to where did she say this was next to? I think she said it was next to Hedo. But it's a Grand Lido, which is a luxury, full nude, 5-star experience. It is fully nude. Clothing is not optional. You cannot wear your clothes in there. And they do not allow like public displays of, sexual activity. So it is a very kind of more luxury experience, whereas, some of the other ones give more of like a party vibe, or we just came here to, like a YOLO vibe. So depending on what you want, there are a lot of different vacation areas that you can go to, and try out some things, right? Anywhere you go, you're not obligated to participate in any activity, okay? There's no one there that's going to make you do anything or try to force you to do anything. But I do want you to feel comfortable enough I want you to go and explore, and then maybe the next time you come back, you'll do a little bit more, and so on and so forth. But it is at your own pace, and you do have different options depending on what you're into. If you just want to get away with your husband and be in a sexy room and y'all just be in the room for 3 days, that is absolutely fine, and that is available. If you and your husband are trying to find where the people are turned and naked, that space is also open and available. So you have the option of curating the type of experience you want with your partner by just opening up your mind to the options that are out there. And one last piece, um, she talked about some of the spaces um, in the United States, and she was saying how big of a community, lifestyle community, Florida is, and that there are a lot of different places there where you can go and explore different lifestyle options. But she said specifically Palm Springs is a lifestyle community. So there are many different people, and that's apparently a really accepting place. So if you are fully immersed, if you are 24/7 lifestyle into something, it would be dope for you to be able to go somewhere and live around community where you can get into that and you can share that energy with other people who are also interested in the same types of things. So, right, that would be dope. That would be super epic. So, I think that if you if you are just starting, you can start with a romantic getaway, okay? But if you and your partner are already turned, go ahead and jump on in there. Just jump in. Just jump in. I'm currently working on a book for building play parties. So play parties for beginners. Working on it so I can get it out there so that more people can have play parties and we can make more spaces for people to be able to find each other and share in their energy and share their kinks in a community that understands where they're coming from. So if I can help y'all do more of that, then we definitely want to do more of that. Okay. You can also do some adult cruises. I know Voyage has adult cruises. I think a couple of other places have. I think a couple of other places have adults only cruises as well. Let me see, because I don't want to be storying now. Virgin Voyages is ooh, it's actually quite a few of them. If you have, I want to get on a cruise ship and teach sex education so bad. So if you have a connection for that, I would love to have it. I want to teach sex ed to them old people on the cruise ships so bad. I know they would love it. But they also need it because the prevalence of sexual assault on cruise ships is super, super high. I don't know if you know this or not, but it is. I mean, it's high in lots of places, especially right now. But and for such a small quarters, sexual assault runs rampant on cruise ships, and because of laws and how all that stuff moves, it could be a very traumatic experience that you stuck in because you're on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean. So um, I would love that. So if you have a connection for that, please hit me up. I would love to do that. But yeah, there's actually quite a bit. It says Carnival has adults only cruises. Has anybody been on an adults only cruise? I have not been on one. Uh, I don't think that I have. But I will say the last cruise I went on, it was with Norwegian. Did not have that great of experience. Um, I loved the stops. I loved all that stuff, but the boat was raggedy and the people the customer service wasn't that good. I ended up crying, like me being the gangster that I am. Ended up crying because I wanted to sock somebody so bad and I couldn't. So we will not be going back to them. But on that cruise, I did not see very many children. I don't know if I saw any, but that's not a normal experience. Usually there's kids running out. And I love kids, so that don't bother me. Y'all's kids running around having fun don't irritate me. But I don't remember seeing any kids on the last cruise that I was on. But it wasn't an adult cruise because I booked it, so I know. But I have never been on one. I would like to though. I would like to do it. How much does it cost? Excuse me. I know, regular cruises are not that bad. but I don't like. I never even looked it off. 70% off second sailor plus balcony upgrades. Ew. Oh, when we got on Norwegian, so we picked Norwegian because they had a Donner Summers performance, um, and we were so hype about that because we were just had just been talking about Donna Summers before then, and they had like a was it Donna Summer? Yeah, I think it was Donna Summer. Um, and then so we waited. We went to they had two shows while we there. We didn't go to the first one. We ended up going to the second one, and then 10 minutes into the performance, the stage opened up and never closed, so we never got to see the Donna Summer performance. They just canceled it and was like, whatever. And it was just a bunch of little stuff like that. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm about to. Mm-mm. So, um, but I do love cruising. I don't know. I'm not. If I have to be honest, I love adults only spaces, but I don't think they for me. I don't like. I don't like people like that. Like, especially in the spaces where like the party spaces, in those party spaces, people think that because you're there that you should be on what they own, and I'm like, no, you're hideous. I don't want to. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not interested. But they don't like they don't we ended up going to me and my husband took a trip to Las Vegas, and we went to the Green Door, and that was a terrible experience. It was terrible. Like, so when we had left, like, so I was just going to go check it out. As someone who also has those parties, I like to see what other people are doing, what kind of spaces they're like curating. How are people moving in these areas? And it was just a bunch of boys in there, like, and it was some women, and they were being creepy to the women. Like, some people had come in with their partners, and the like three girls had got in like this bed in the middle, and everybody in the whole place, the security guards, all the men came and like stood around and like, all right, do you need help? Do you want me to get her panties off? Do you? And it was just very like, ew. It was ew. And then so we were getting our roof done while we were gone, because I was there specifically to like, I was there for research, so that was a business trip for me. um I had went in because I wanted to go to the museum. I had an art exhibition coming up, and so I went to the museum, the Sex Museum in New York, and then I ended up going to the Green Door because I wanted to talk about the clubs and stuff, and just I was on my tour getting my stuff together, and it was terrible. So we were standing there. The roof was getting done while we were there. And so the guy is sending us pictures of the roof. And so me and my husband are sitting on the couch. It's only like 10 people. There's like 3 floors in this place, maybe 2 floors in the place. But, there's like 10 people in here. And me and my husband are the only black people. So keep that in mind. We're sitting there and we're looking at pictures of the roof on the phone, and this dude comes up, and he's like this big Russian dude, and he's got like jeans on with like jewels and shit on him, and like he's wearing a shirt, and he's got all his hair shaved off, but he got like spikes up right here, and like he's like a muscly. That's not my type. Anyway, he was like, can I join you guys? And I was like, he's like, can I watch you guys? And I was like, if you want to, we're looking at pictures of the roof. You want to watch us look at pictures of the roof? He's like, no. I mean, like, if you guys like, we're looking at pictures of the roof. We, we're looking at pictures of the roof, bro. If you want to sit here and watch us look at a cell phone of pictures of our new roof, sure, you can do it. If that's what you want. It was just creepy. Like, they ended up running those ladies off. Right, like roofs are not that interesting. Like, it was not. But it was like they ran those ladies off, and like they were trying to get it cracking, but everybody was being so like again, even the workers were being creepy. Like, the literal guards that are supposed to be there, they were standing around with the men just watching, waiting for stuff to go on. Like, I don't like that. And so again, I do parties. You can't be in my party like that. If I paid you to work, baby, I will put you out this building, and I might, I might put some under your chin. Like, don't. So I am very, very, very protective of my customers and my clients. Very, very, like, if my client said you did anything, baby, I will get on that stand and be like, and I was there and they did. I will help them turn your ass in. I don't care nothing about it. You could be my daddy. And I'm going to help you get him. He over here. So I'm very, very protective of my customers and my clients. I've been doing this for years and years. And, you know, being an outlet for that type of thing is very important to me. I don't I don't play about that. So it was just very, and then they have a book there, and this is not a bash on the Green Door. That club has been open it's one of the oldest sex clubs in the nation. I don't see how. I don't see how. It does have a lot of stuff in there. Like there is, I think most of that is just creating the space for it. Like if you just open up the space and don't let people be creepy and don't let, um, people be abusive, the space will do what it's supposed to do. But I don't know. It was just the energy was off. We left up out of there. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. It was a very weird experience. I do want to do some more though. I want to go to some more. Um, One of my best friends, he go to them all the time. I'm so jealous. Like the people on the other side of the fence have way more community as far as like kink and sexuality. Like LBGTQ people have many more events and many more community sharing of certain types of things than, and shit, we straight people need it. Well, I'm not gonna say we because I ain't that straight, but the straights need it. Okay, they need outlets, they need spaces, they need to be able to feel what that's like. So it's a very, very fine line, but it is one of my favorite things. Like of all the things that I do, and I do lots of sexual health stuff. That is one of the favorite things that I do because it is a space where people can come in and they're like, "What is this? And what does that do? And what does this do? And can I use this? And can I like how do you use this? And can you put this on me? And can you take me out of this?" And it's all that fun stuff. And I love watching people go through the motions and for them to only have access to that stuff. Like you only see that stuff on TV and they can be in the room with it so I love that. I love that. So for sure. I said it first. I said it first. So speaking of that, okay. Speaking of that, this I'm gonna put it on here because I know I didn't. This let's take that off. Nope. We'll go here. I want to show you. I'm going to show you what I have. What I did. I did it. I've been taking care of my responsibilities. I've been doing the stuff I'm supposed to be doing mostly. Mo- kind of a little bit. But I got my Patreon set up. And so what we're going to be doing on Wednesday, okay, because they won't let me do this. They are not trying to hear what I'm talking about. They won't let me do it on here. So I am going to do it on my Patreon. So we are going to go through, what is that? Let's take that off. We are going to look at some of the toys in my adult toy collection, some of my like favorite, well, not even mine, it's actually my clients' favorite ones, which is even more funny because when I put this flyer out, they all was like, I started getting messages like, "Are you going to show? Are you going to put? Are you good?" So I'm going to show you. I've been teaching sex education for 10 plus years. And all throughout that time frame, I've been collecting toys. I've been collecting adult toys. I have hundreds at this point. It's bags all over this house with stuff falling out of it. But I want to show you what some of those toys are, and some, especially because some of the other ones that I have are toys that you're not going to see often. They're not toys that are going to, that you would run across like a Sibian or something like that. I don't have a Sibian, but I have a saddle, which is kind of like the same thing. So I'm going to show that. We're just going to show some of my big stuff. I'm think I'm going to pull like three of my big toys out. And we'll talk about like some of the furniture, like I might probably pull out a couple more things. But some of the things that you can see, you can have me explain to you how it can be used, what people are using it for, and that you know that it can exist. Now, this is on my Patreon, okay? And on my Patreon right now, you can get in for $3 a month, and you will automatically be, this is until October 1st, and then you will be grandfathered in, and you will receive the benefits of the basic tier or the next tier up, even though you're only paying the support tier price. So I had to Google that. I had no idea what none of that stuff meant. But essentially, you put $3, and you, no matter where the channel goes, no matter what it turns into, no matter who I become, you still only pay $3 a month. So if you have a desire for more in-depth sex education, there are some things here that I cannot teach, I cannot talk to, because there are censors, and there are moderators, automatic moderators, that don't allow me to say certain words or show you certain things. I can't even show you any toys on here. It doesn't allow me to to show you any type of like sexual devices or toys. But I do think it's important that you can see them. You need to see what a flogger looks like. You need to see what a cane pole looks like. You need to see what these things are so that you know, and you're not being taken advantage of, or you're not being thrown into a situation where you have no idea what's going on. So, and also that it lets you know that the types of toys that we're going to be showing are accessible. I don't have no money, okay? I am poor. I'm poor, but if I can figure out a way to afford it, then you can too. Okay? You can too. But there are a lot of toys out there that have uses that we are not aware of, because toys are not marketed in a way that makes them accessible. They are only marketed in a way that makes them commercially available. Commercially available. So there are so many things that you can do with so many different types of sex toys that you have no idea exist. And so that's what we're going to be talking about on here. Different ways to use toys. Now, this is going to be Wednesday at 7 p.m. We're going to be looking at some of my big stuff. Okay, we're going to be looking at some big ticket items, some of the big stuff, just so you can see and you can have an idea of what it is and how to use it and all that good stuff. And then maybe if you like, you can pick one up for yourself or for someone you truly love. If you currently have a business where you are selling different types of toys, I would love to have it. Yes, thank you for asking. Please send it to me. Please do. Absolutely would appreciate it. Reach out to me. I will send you the P.O. box, honey, and I want it. I do. But yeah, so on Wednesday I'm gonna be pulling out some of my big toys, and we're gonna be walking through what you can do with it, and touch. We're gonna touch a little bit of stuff. We're gonna get in the mix a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot. Okay. And if you have on my Patreon, if you get in, you can actually help me. And when I say help me, I mean y'all gonna do it. Help me plan out and curate my shows. I'll be asking you guys, what kind of stuff do you want to see? I've already gotten a suggestion for next week, so it looks like we're going to be talking about A-spot orgasms, which is going to be your anterior fornix. So we're going to be talking about deep erogenous zones, but we're going to be talking specifically about the A-spot next Wednesday. So we're going to be going through what it is, what it do, how you get to it, how it, some of the tips and tricks on how to use it to your advantage, all that good stuff. So that's what we're going to be doing. But if you are a member of my Patreon, I'm definitely finna put your ass to work. So help me pick these shows so people will love us. Help us. Okay. So let's talk about the rest of the schedule for the week. Um, ew. Boom. Okay. So today was Tuesday. We talked about adult vacations. Tomorrow is Ask Coach Katasha. Okay. So let me just give a slight little warning. Just a very slight one. Just a little blurb. Okay. Uh, Ask Coach Katasha is user curated questions. Okay. So if you have questions about sexual health, sexuality, relationships, um, penises, vulvas, toes, whatever you have questions about, you can come in here. You can drop those questions in the chat, and I will answer them for you live with no judgment, no shame. That's not my responsibility. I am here to make sure that both of you are consenting adults and that both of you are having fun or all of you are having fun. That is all I care about. So I'm not here to police you. It is important that you use this space to ask the questions so that you have an answer, because you will not have access to a sex educator later on in life. It's very unlikely, right? Especially at the pace that we're going. It'd probably be years before somebody, it'd probably be 2 lifetimes for me before this becomes a regular thing. Although it should be, it is not. But you will not have access to very many spaces that allow you to freely ask the questions that you have about sex and sexuality. So you can stop in here and I will be happy to answer them for you. If you don't want people in your business, but you still want to ask your question, you can send that question to expressionoverrepression@gmail.com, and I will bring that question back to the chat on Wednesday and we can answer it together live. But I know you don't want people in your business. I completely get that and I understand. So you're good. I'll bring it back. I do get a couple of questions. So we'll answer some of the questions that we get, and then we'll answer any of the questions that we get in the chat. If you are on any type of social media, you can also send those questions to any of my social media. I'm going to put my link tree in the chat, and that way you can find my Facebook, you can find my Twitter, you can find my TikTok, you can find all those. And whatever you're on, if you run into something and you're like, hey, I got a question about this, please feel free to shoot me a message. I will be happy to bring it back to the chat on Wednesday and we can all talk about it together. Okay? I do not have any control over the type of questions that come in. I don't. I do not. So, just please hold your panties a little bit tighter when you show up on Wednesday, because, we got to educate the people, and sometimes it's a bumpy ride. Okay, the turbulence can get kind of crazy, but we'll figure it out. On Thursday, we're going to be talking about data harvesting with the new waves in sexual technology, especially digisexuality. There is a lot of data that's associated with biofeedback and haptic devices and virtual reality and augmented reality. There's a lot of data being collected in those experiences. And we need to know where that data is going, what's it being used for, and how are they harvesting and taking care of it once they have it. So we'll be talking about that on Thursday at 12:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then on Friday, it is late night with Coach Katasha, okay? It's Friday and it's at 9 p.m. So you can imagine the type of time that I'm on. You can absolutely imagine what type of time that I'm on. So, make sure you just got a good grip on them pennies when you show up for that one too. Okay? We are here for no nonsense, non-sugar coated sex education for adults. I am here to help you be better sexually, to be better emotionally, and to be happy and joyful in your life, to be embodied in your experience of sexuality, and to have an idea of what your pleasure plan looks like. What makes you happy? What type of things turn you on? What type of things turn you off? What are you interested in? What are you not interested in? All those types of things. And to get that conversation going in your mind so that you can start formulating an idea of what it is that you do want and what it is that you are seeking and that you do desire from your interactions. So don't trick yourself, come on in. Come on into the party. Your adult sex education needs are here and ready to be met. All right? All right. Well, do we have any other questions? I'll give y'all a second to make sure. I feel like I've been talking for a long time. I'm ready for my sugar muffins to come home because I'm gonna make some Chinese food tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Gonna make them some Chinese food. Ooh, maybe I'll make them some sushi. We don't have all the stuff. I could go to the store. I'm already over it. I quit already. No, thank you. No, thank you. We're gonna eat what we got. All right. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like we have any questions. I appreciate all of you showing up, participating. Thank you to Only Sponge for coming back in. I appreciate you too. We will be back here tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time for Ask Coach Katasha.